Good morning, national officers, past national commanders, members of the NEC, and all our great guests. This is a pivotal time for our country. The southeastern United States is reeling from the devastation caused by Hurricane Helene. Rocket fire and terrorist activity are daily occurrences in the Middle East. Our government is funded by a continuing resolution, which is set to expire just before Christmas holiday. And we have a national election in less than a month. There is no easy solutions to any of these issues. If there were, this body would not have to meet as often as what we do. First, to my fellow Americans and Legion family members impacted by the hurricane and the floods, and with the inevitable Hurricane Milton coming into the southeast there, help is on its way. Keep in mind, we truly are an American Legion family, and we are there for you. Hearts, minds, prayers, and physically, we are there for you. Our staff stands ready to assist with National Emergency Fund and temporary financial assistance applications. Posting departments across the Legion universe will continue to do what they've always done during emergencies like this. They will put service before self. They will gather supplies, collect donations, and give to the areas that are hurting. We will also have eyes on the ground, just let everybody know. Yes, we will always offer thoughts and prayers, but those sentiments are solidified through tangible acts of generosity. These acts cannot undo the pain and heartbreak that come with tragedies such as this, but they will let the communities know that they have our love and our support. On the opposite side of humanity is what has been occurring in the Middle East. Monday marked the first anniversary of one of history's most despicable and cowardly terrorist acts. In addition to the brutal 1,200 murders and horrific rapes of civilians, American citizens were among Israeli hostages taken on October 7th, 2023. Some have been killed while in captivity, but others are still believed to be suffering at the hands of their sadistic kidnappers. Since the October 7th attacks, Iran has escalated the situation not once, but twice, as they have launched hundreds of powerful ballistic missiles towards Israel as a show of solidarity with the terrorists who sparked this war. As a result of this growing war between Israel and Iran's proxies, an estimated 43,000 U.S. troops and at least a dozen warships are currently deployed to the region, though some were there prior to last year's attack. Our National Security Division is monitoring the situation daily. The American Legion will always believe in defending America's interests, but at the same time, we understand the need to avoid unnecessary or poorly planned combatant roles and deployments. Mission objectives and exit strategies must be clear in order to avoid escalations that could lead to our troops being bogged down in another forever war. Regardless of the policies or circumstances behind any military mission, the American Legion will always and unequivocally support the men and women who are sent in harm's way. The Department of Defense must also show its support by providing all the resources that our troops need to succeed while minimizing our own casualties to the greatest extent possible. The enemies are the terrorists, their abettors, and the regimes that enable them, not the innocent civilians living in Gaza, Lebanon, and Iran. Support for our troops also means supporting their needs after their service. It is completely unacceptable that a $3 billion stopgap was required 2 weeks ago just so VA could continue funding veterans' disability payments. The American Legion spoke loudly about this, and more than 44,500 emails were sent to Congress through our legislative action webpage. This is just the latest instance of the American Legion being the voice for veterans. While politicians are quick to take credit for historic legislation such as the PAC Act and the Mission Act, the legislation is meaningless if funds are not provided to support it. While continuing resolutions are somewhat better than government shutdowns, all they do is delay needed improvements to our veterans' health care, military readiness, and our border security. These issues will need to be addressed in a clear, nonpartisan manner. Allow me to read Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, the American Legion. It states, "The American Legion shall be absolutely non-political and shall not be used for the dissemination of partisan principles, nor the promotion of the candidacy of any person seeking office or preferment." Sadly, even when you discuss public policy, no matter how issue-oriented the intent, it is viewed by too many who are ready to pounce, exploit, or misinterpret according to partisan agendas, especially on social media. Our neutrality when it comes to elections is not only mandated by our Constitution, but it actually serves us well in a practical sense. It's the reason why the American Legion works well with Democrats, Republicans, and independents in Congress. The fact is, nearly every successful Veterans Bill of Consequence has had bipartisan support. Our nonpartisanship also helps us maintain a productive relationship in the White House, regardless of which party is in the Oval Office. At the same time, we want veterans to vote. Veterans have fought for, and in many cases died, for this constitutional right. Let's get out the vote. We don't tell veterans who to vote for. We just ask them to be informed about issues that are important to them and to cast their vote and vote accordingly. And issues to us matter, not the candidates, not their parties. To us, it will always be policies over personalities. We can have an even greater influence on policy by growing our membership numbers. While we did meet the membership goal that was set for last year, I believe we can close the gap and finish with more members in 2025 than we had in 2024. At the end of September, we had almost 19,000 traditional new members recruited into post. My goal for this year is 75,000 traditional new members. I know that it's still early, but history shows that momentum slows. With Veterans Day approaching next month, what an opportune time to welcome new members into our family. We have Be the One, dog tag coins for anyone who recruits 3 new members into the American Legion. A new member is defined as an eligible veteran who did not belong to the American Legion in 2024. Recruiting will not close our membership gap as if people go knocking door to door. We must retain new members. We must work the retention. The goal for all departments should be a 90% retention rate. None of us are immortal, which is why it isn't set for 100%. I truly believe that the more people that learn about the American Legion, see our programs in action, and understand the power we have in setting public policy, the more they'll want to join us and to stay with us. In the 41 days since I became National Commander, I've been to Washington, D.C. twice, Canada, Tennessee, Wyoming, Missouri, Kansas, and then out here to Indy. And I have not been home yet. To say I've been busy is an understatement. But the saying that time flies when you're having fun certainly applies, as I've been visiting departments. I thank each and every one of you for all you do as we maintain our number one mission with Be the One, with our charitable focus on the Veterans and Children Foundation. And my primary focus, picking up where Commander C. Hafer and Commander Shriel left, is the quality of life for all of our veterans and families. We need to be more engaged with the communities, to allow the communities to see and believe in the American Legion. Let's let America know who the American Legion is. God bless each and every one of you.